Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I've wanted to start YouTube for months now, but I've never really gotten around to it. I created this eye look today. I hope you like it. So if there are any specific looks you want me to create in the next few weeks, or if you have any questions, then please let me know in the comments below. I will link all products that I used in this look down below in the description box. So yeah, if you want to see how I created this look, then stay tuned. Okay, I'm just going to start off by cleansing my face with the Garnier Pure Active Micellar Cleansing Water. This is really great, I'm loving this at the minute. I'm going to moisturise my face with the Garnier Moisture Matte Plus. It's a combination to oily skin, which is what I've got. So I'm just going to put that on. Now that I've finished moisturising, I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Chocolate Dipbrow, and I'm doing that with my Zoeva 322 Brow Line brush. I will be doing a separate tutorial on brows in the next few weeks. Okay, now that I have finished my brows, I've decided to go for some really big dark brows today. It's not for everyone, but it is for me today. So now I'm just going to go in and prime the lid with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And I'm doing this with my Zoeva 142 Concealer Buffer. And I just like to make sure I'm buffing this on all over the lid and all underneath. And it's important to make sure that you're not using too much product when you go straight onto the lid, otherwise it'll go too thick and it will crease really easily. Okay, so first off I'm going to go in with Jam from the Lime Crime Venus 2 palette. The Venus 1 and the Venus 2 palettes are the two palettes that I reach for the most in my whole kit. Okay, so I'm just going to start by packing this all over the lid. And then I'm blending down, just because I don't want the colour to go too high. And then I'm just going to dust off some of the residue shadow on my brush. And now I'm going to start blending in circular motions. Today's eye we're going to do a rounded blown out eye. I'm not too keen on doing winged out eyes on myself. A wing liner sure, but winged out eyeshadow is just not really for me. Okay, you just want to make sure that you're really blending this colour out. And I'm just going to go in with a slight bit more just to build up the colour. And I'm just repeating the steps and motions that I had done a minute ago. Okay, so now that you've got that base, you just want to slightly buff underneath the eye. This is just a guide for when you get to this part last. start blowing it out. So when I say blown out, I'm literally just taking the colour and bringing it around and out, like so. Okay, now I've completed this stage, I'm going to go in with Creation from the Venus 1 palette by Lime Crime again. This is a more brown orange, so it's not as intense and bright as the previous one I've just used. This is mainly just to build up the colour on the eye. It's good to make sure that you add in layers off using warm colours such as oranges and, you know, brown, orange. Because warm tones suit me a lot more than cool. If you don't quite like the shape, I'll show you at the end, or when I've nearly finished the eyes, of how to do that. If you don't feel like your eyeshadow's not blending very well, or if you just think it could be even softer on the edges, I'll show you how to create that in a second. Okay, now I'm going to go in with Venus from the Venus 1 palette by Lime Crime. Now we're going to start going more pinky and burgundy, and using more colour. And I'm just going to use the same motions as before. Pack it on the outer corner. And then start to blend. Okay, now I'm going to go in with Rebirth, also from the Lime Crime Venus 1 palette. And now this is more of a pink. It's more of a coral pink, and I really like this colour. So I'm just trying to work in my corals, cranberries and burgundies just to achieve the colour that I want in the end. Okay, and now I'm taking Muse from the Lime Crime Venus 1 palette also. Now this is more of a deep burgundy tone, and I really like this colour. I think it's a lovely shade. I really want to use this stunning duochrome eyeshadow. It's Shuffle the Cards, and you can get this from Topshop. And it's just dreamy. And I think it'll go really nice with the whole idea of that I really want my green eyes to stand out. So I think that this will go really nicely. Now I know that sometimes these can be a bit of a pain to apply to the lid, so I'm just going to take my concealer again and apply it on the lid. Basically just want to get your brush full of colour and just really pack it on, and we're just going to press onto the lid. Okay, so now that I have added my liner and lashes, I'm now going to start working on the underneath, but because I've created a guide, I don't need to do too much, which is a time saver. So I'm going to go in with my Zoeva 223 Petite Eye blending brush, and I'm going to dip into my Lime Crime Venus 2 palette, but this time into Mud, which is a brown, and I'm just going to go in. It's still adding warmth to the eye, which is basically what I'm after. But I also wanted to break the eye up from the whole burgundy cranberry kind of tones. So adding a brown in to darken it up is great. Okay, I'm going to go back in with my blending brush and just blend this all out. Okay, now that's done, I'm going to leave my waterline blank. I don't want too much black on there. So I'm now going to go in with my face makeup. I've already moisturised, which is fine. But now I'm going to go in with Nars Hot Sand Illuminator. And I'm actually just going to go straight in with the product all over my face. This is one of my favourite illuminators, purely because I think it just smells really nice as well. I'm easily pleased. At the minute, yeah, my skin is quite red, purely because it's really sensitive, but that does not necessarily mean that yours is going to go red either. Okay. What I'm going to go in with is the EX1 Invisiwear Foundation. This is an absolute staple in my kit, probably one of my favourite foundations next to the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation and Illamasqua Skin Base. So I'm going to take my Zoeva 102 Silk Foundation brush. It's just a really nice buffer brush, and I'm just going to start working that right into the skin. I'm going to try my best to avoid my eyes at the minute, purely because I'm really liking the shape that I've created with them, and I don't want to ruin that if I can help it. So I'm literally buffing my foundation in as normal, but when I have been getting to the eyes, I'm just literally bringing it downwards in downwards motions. Now I really like a full coverage foundation, and the good thing with the EX1 foundation is you can build your coverage up, so you're not just stuck with a light to medium finish. You can actually build up so it's a full finish, so it's a full coverage. And I may be told cake makeup on, but hey ho, that's how I like it, and I don't really care. Okay, so I've applied my foundation everywhere that is necessary. probably paler than a ghost at the minute because I've got no tan on, which is slightly depressing. Anyway, I'm going to go in with my Collection Lasting Perfection 16 Hour Wear Concealer, and I'm going to go straight under the eyes with this. Now I'm leaving quite a gap between the underneath my eye and where I'm applying the concealer, purely because I want to be able to buff that in later on after I've blended the concealer out, so it's a nice blend all the way through from my eyeshadow down into my concealer and foundation. Okay, for this part I'm taking my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I love this brush. I like how dense it is, and I'm just going to blend my concealer in, basically like patting motions, and just bringing it down. When you get to there, when you can see it, when you see it's quite a clear change between the foundation colour and the concealer, then you start to buff it out. But on review of this concealer, because I've got a feeling I have quite a few questions asked about it, why you're using such a cheap concealer, I use it purely because I fell out of love with my Nars one, and I felt like it just wasn't doing the job. I feel like it was drying out really quickly, and I told that this was a duplicate for the Nars one, and basically I wanted to give it a go and see if it was as good as what people rave on about, and it really is, and I love it. And for £4.20 you can't moan. But it isn't one of them cheap products that is good the first time and then after that it's terrible. It's just very consistent, and I'm very impressed. And you can find my blog post soon on my blog that goes live with Palette Official, all about my buying on a budget. So if you want me to create a video doing a tutorial of the products I've bought on a budget, then please let me know in the comments below, and I'll do just that for you. Basically now all I'm doing is making sure that this is all nice and blended. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake under the eye. So I'm taking my Illamasqua translucent setting powder, taking my Real Techniques brush again, getting quite a bit on the brush, and I'm just going to pack it under the eye. This is just so that I have a really nice consistent finish under the eyes, but also sets the concealer just to prevent it from creasing. And I'm just going to do it around my smile lines and just dust it over my forehead. Okay, now I'm going to go in with one of my budget buys, which is the Revolution Ultra Contour Palette. I've been having a play with this and just getting a feel for it and seeing how it is. So I'm going to give this a go today and see what I think. So it doesn't have any colours with it. When I say colours, I mean colour names. So I'm just dipping and picking. I want quite a strong contour today. And then what I'm going to do is take my translucent powder again with the Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to set right under the contour just to make it that bit more precise and clear. So basically the whole face can be set with powder. Okay, like so. Okay, I think I've baked for long enough, and I'm just going to dust this off under my eyes. Smile lines and contour. I've got a million highlighting products, but I think today I'm going to go in with my Glow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's an absolute favourite, and the ones that I mainly dip into, as you can see, is Sunburst and Bubbly. These two. Now I have two favourite brushes for this, to highlight, and they are again both Zoeva ones. So I have okay, and finally for lips, I will be using the Jeffree Star Celebrity Skin Liquid Lipstick. And this is always a nude that I'm reaching for. So I'm just going to apply straight from the wand. And there we have it. So this is my finished look. So these are my Cranberry, Burgundy, warm eyes, whatever you want to call it, I'm not too sure. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to see any specific looks, then please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.